Can you hear me, Max? All right. How are you guys? Good? Everybody good?
Great.
So good.
All right, I can't see you out there in the parking lot. Y'all good? What a blessing it is to be back in the Lord's house.
Amen.
Good to see you guys. It is. We're probably going to hold here for now, right? What I mean by that is, so we've gotten back in the sanctuary for the worship service. We've gotten back in here for the Sunday school hour. There's about 3 things that we still need to work towards, I think, in getting back to normal. Taking Sunday school back to the Sunday school classes is one of them. Filling the choir during the worship service is another one. And then having the children's message during the worship service is another one. These are the 3 things that we've still got to do to get our services back to where they were pre-COVID. But I think we're going to hang right where we're at right now for a while.
Amen.
And see how this goes and pray about it. We'll follow the Lord's guidance on how to get to the rest of it. But, you know, it was a blessing to come in and hear a Sunday school lesson. Rarely do I sit through Sunday school, because what ends up happening is I'll listen to a Sunday school teacher and then I'll preach their lesson and forget my sermon. I'm not the brightest bulb in the string, right? So I don't let somebody confuse. So normally I don't listen, but this morning was fantastic, wasn't it? And one of my favorite verses is in that. What, is there not a cause? Of course there's a cause, right? And what I said to Chad, I think, was what normally happens there. When we're ready to face down the giant, we're ready to do something for the Lord. Anybody confronts us, we just back off. You know, I'm not a fighter. I've never been a fighter. And I don't like to argue because I'm not good at it, right? So instead of arguing with someone, I'll just stop. And I have a tendency not to do anything. And, you know, when we get confronted, when we're on our way to the battle, when we get confronted, we can't just stop. Right? If we just stop, nothing's good. Right? So don't fight with anybody. It's not worth it. Right? Arguments are great. And that's one of the things that my wife has taught me through 30-some years of marriage is arguments, they're not worth it. Because you can't win. Right? At least I haven't won a single one with her. So just stay out of those to start with. Get single focused and do what you need to do. So it's a blessing to be in Sunday school. We're going to do that every Sunday now. We're back in Sunday school. We're back in the worship service. We'll keep it out here for a while, and then we'll figure out when's the best time to go back. Another thing, you know, this whole virus thing, this whole moving out of the sanctuary stuff has forced us to go in some technological directions that I hadn't really thought about. One of them is videoing our service. So we will continue to do that. And we have people that listen to our service now as far away as Houston, Texas. There's a cell of people, maybe 10, 15 down in Arkansas that are listening to us. I get comments as far away as Wisconsin, California. So this has pushed us in a direction where our service is getting out, where people can hear it. You know, if one person gets saved out of that effort, goodness.
Amen.
Small effort as that was, if someone can get saved, that would be a fantastic thing. The second thing it did was force us to put in FM transmitter capabilities. So now we're going out to the parking lot, yes, but we can also take care of some things in here. I got a couple of these. I gave Max one of them. These are just little cheap FM receivers. So if there's anyone in here that's a little difficult hearing, or maybe the tone of my voice isn't the way that it should be, we're going to keep about 3 or 4 of these stuck back in this room back here. And all you got to do is put one on, put your headset on, turn it to 88.3, and magic! You can hear me at that point. So there's a lot of folks that this might help. So I will say this, though. Once you pick one of these up, it's yours. Because you stick it in your own ears, and that's just creepy. So if someone needs one of these, I've got one now. I'll put it back here. I'll get a couple, 3 more, and put them in the room. But if someone comes in and they can't hear quite, just give them one of these. And for every one we take out here, we'll replace it. It's a small cost to let people hear the gospel.
Amen.
So, yeah, it's been something, you know, as unfortunate as this has been, as discombobulating as it is, it's helped us see a few things and address some gaps. So that's fantastic.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
He does. He does. And he also works with mysterious people. All right, so listen, guys, a lot of things to pray about. If you look at the world, if you look at the news lately and look around, the world's going crazy. This is chaotic. And we need to pray for our leaders as they try to lead us out of this mess, as well as for the people involved in it, right? Listen, you know, I have a tendency sometimes to watch the news and see the craziness and see the people and go, how in the world can people do things like this? Before God reminds me that I'm a sinner too. And you know, I could be right there in the middle of that. If it weren't for my upbringing and my life circumstances and the things God's allowed me to go through, I could be right in the middle of that, burning buildings down and writing graffiti on statues. I mean, I could be doing all of that because we're all sinners.
Amen.
Right? Every one of us, we were born. So pray for these people because what they need is Jesus Christ.
Amen.
If they ever come to know Jesus, all of that other nonsense will just fade into the background. It's all about coming to know Christ. So let's pray for them as we pray this morning. Babies, pray for babies. Right? We have 5 babies that are just about, that are on the way, right? So y'all have 3. Right? Have you picked out names for them yet?
Sort of.
Well, I can't wait to meet the one named Daniel. So, put that plug in there. 3 triplets, and then Alicia's going to have one. Sage is going to have one. Guys, that's fantastic, right? That's
great.
A lot of times you see churches grow by pulling people from other churches. And what's fun is to watch a church grow organically. I'll say this, it'll be on the print. The last church I was in, we always had kids. It was fantastic. I mean, you know, one batch would get about 5, and then another batch would come along. And they'd get about 5, that one would get about 10, and another batch would come along, right? And if you ever wanted to know where the preacher was, he's usually in the vestibule on the floor playing with one of the kids, right? I can't tell you how many sermons, halfway through the sermon, I ended up grabbing them and walking around with them because they would cry. So you can get to me, right? But congratulations, guys. And Alicia and Sage, you're listening. Congratulations to you guys. We look forward to this. It's going to be fantastic. So pray for the mothers and the fathers and the children. This will be fun. So anything you need to pray about, anything you got on your heart, anything you share.
And I forgot to mention, and it just has come back to me. We really need to keep the state of New York in our prayers because the governor is now saying that if people keep insisting on going to churches, he's going to close them down.
Good luck with it.
I know it's going against constitutional rights, but the way things are playing out, I wouldn't doubt if he would try.
You can't. I saw the judge came out yesterday or last week with a ruling. It said you can't keep people out of church while thousands are protesting in the street. Good luck with trying to shut church down in the United States. The only reason they succeeded over the last 3 months is because we were willing. Think about that. Church not willing, never shut it down. So you're right. We need to pray for the leaders all across the country. We're in uncharted waters here, guys. Things like this haven't happened, at least in our lifetime. I mean, I understand that in 1918 there was the Spanish flu. It was ravaging the world, and people were doing some pretty crazy stuff to try to deal with it. But in our lifetime, my lifetime, I've never seen anything like this. So let's just pray that God guides all of our leaders the way that they should. Unfortunately, at times like this, it ends up becoming political. This isn't political. This is how do you keep people safe and still protect their rights? It's that simple, right?
Amen.
And sometimes you can't mandate the risk somebody's willing to take. You can't tell somebody for your own good, I'm gonna lock you up, right? And then all of a sudden you've lost the way, how you make your living and all that. This isn't political. This is the lives of people and their freedoms. We need to pray that the country will go in the direction it needs to go in. Anyone else?
Benny, we've not had a vacation Bible school this year, and I know there's a lot of people in the church and in the community that looks forward to that each year. And with everything going on, we've just not been able to do that. But there are a few people that are trying to work something out to where at least maybe we could do a one-day thing where people came through the parking lot and we could let the community know that we do care about them and that we are still trying to point people to Christ. And so I just ask the church, if you will, even not knowing exactly what's going to be done, that they will to pray that our church can still make an impact on our community and lift the name of the Lord.
Yeah, we mentioned prayer for that. It is a little up in the air right now as to what we're going to do something. And it may be that we do something small and later in the year we do something bigger. We just have to play it by ear. But pray for April. And I think April's been talking to Luann and they've been talking around. So unusual times. Alan Edwards, you lead us in prayer.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for letting us live to see this another day. Thank you for the many blessings you bestowed upon us. Lord, thank you for allowing us to come out to thy house today. Lord, just thank you for the Sunday school lesson that Chad delivered to us. Lord, help us take it back to our lives, that we would be that you have us to be, Lord. Lord, bless Brother Danny in this service, Lord, and on him with your power and your spirit, give him the words we stand in need of. Lord, help us take those words and apply them to our lives. Now, Lord, just bless all those on our prayer list, each and every one, Lord. You know the needs in each and every situation. Lord, just bless them and heal them to be your blessed will. Lord, bless all those round about us, you find us to pray for, Lord. Lord, just bless the leaders that stand in the country. Lord, bless those who are making decisions, Lord, that they don't need to make. They need to look to you for leadership and guidance. Now, Lord, just bless each and every one. Bless us, watch over us, and care for us, return to our homes, and return us back to thy house the next appointed hour. All these favors, that's my precious and holy Son's name. Amen. Amen.
Y'all plan to sing anymore? Okay, if you're not, Chad, why don't you and Mike over here, the three of us will sing. I want to sing. I'm not good at it, but maybe I can get enough folks around me to do it. Let's sing this song. Let's be All right, guys, I'm going to sing page 40 out of this book for you. For those of you that don't know the book too well, at least you can pick out what song I like. You ready? Who's going to lead us?
Some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. When the shadows of this life have grown, I'll
Hello.
Sorry about that, Max. I forgot what I was doing. I like to sing. You like to sing? I like to sing. I'm not good at it, and very seldom. I can tell in the morning whether my voice is such that I can sing, but I like to sing anyway. It's just I enjoy it. That's what music does for you, so you enjoy worship. So I want you to turn to the book of Matthew, chapter 24, if you would. Matthew, chapter 24. Matthew, chapter 24. We're going to read from the 36th verse down to the 46th verse. Matthew, chapter 24. 36th verse through the 46th verse, 10 verses. And you know, sometimes when a pastor comes to church on Sunday, he's coming prepared to teach you. Sometimes he's coming prepared to uplift you. Sometimes he's prepared to guide you. Today, the Lord has brought me this way, prepared to comfort you. And I want you to think about that as we go through this message. How the scriptures comfort us. Because I tell you, know, Chad mentioned it in the Sunday school lesson this morning. The time is coming.
Amen.
The time is coming, right? Well, preacher, what do you mean by the time is coming? The time for what is coming? When we read the passages, you'll understand what I'm talking about. The time is coming. So Matthew chapter 24, verse 36, the Bible says this: "But of that day and hour knoweth no man." You have an idea what time I'm talking about now?
Amen.
"Of that day and hour knoweth no man, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only." Now, all through the New Testament, this principle resounds, right? Jesus makes the statement, "No man knoweth that day but the Father." Even Jesus himself was willingly ignorant of the details of his coming back. Only the Father knew what time was planned for Jesus to come back. He says, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field." Now think about this now. Think about what it would be like when this time comes. You're at work, you're at home, you're at Walmart buying groceries, you're just out about your everyday life, and then all of a sudden, two will be in the field. One of them's taken, the other one will be left behind. Think about that. One will be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill. The one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have been suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Ronnie, you want to lead us in prayer?
Our Heavenly Father, it's very hard today we come back to you, asking you to be with any of our hour. Give us the word that we need to hear of, and let us apply it to our lives so that we will be better servants and get closer to you. Lord, be with all the people on our prayer list, ones that didn't mention, ones that were spoken out, and Lord, give us all safe travel back to our homes. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Soon the Lord's going to come back and return for his people. You know, I got saved in 1987, and later that year, the Lord called me to preach his word. 2 years later, I came into the ministry. I've been pastoring ever since, except for a little bit of time in the middle of 20 years in here. I've been studying this book pretty faithfully, if you'll excuse the pun, religiously, for almost 33 years now. And the more I study it, and the more I watch current events, the more I am absolutely convinced that we're seeing the Bible played out before our eyes right now.
Amen.
You can look at what's going on in the world and look at what God said would happen, and we are there.
That's right.
Amen? Pretty soon he's going to come back and he's going to take his church home. Now, this isn't what the world believes. The world has heard us say, non-believers have heard the church say this for centuries now, that Jesus is going to come back. And the Bible even records the sentiment of those non-believers as they hear this. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3 through 6 talks about how non-believers have heard this and heard this and heard this and heard this, and they make the statement, hey, where's the sign of his coming? From the beginning until now, everything seems to be just the same way that it is. God has not intervened in human history one time. Where's the sign of his coming? And you know, if you tell people right now, in 21st century, Jesus is coming back, if they're non-believers, they're going to have that same attitude. Well, where's the signs of his coming? You keep saying that, nothing happens. You keep telling us Jesus is coming back, everything just keeps on like it has been going. Well, listen, that's just ignorance showing itself. Even the people in the time of Christ had evidence after evidence after evidence of God intervening in the track of human history. What about the flood?
Right.
What about the flood? There's a perfect sign of God intervening in human history. Man got wicked and wicked and wicked and wicked. And you know what, God said, you know, it repents me that I've even made him. 40 days, 40 nights, rain comes on. But you know what? If you'll read through that depiction, it doesn't just talk about rain being the only source of water. It says the great depths were broken up. The water tables of the earth came up. The whole world was just inundated with water. And you know, if you tell that story now, it's amazing to me that how some seemingly intelligent people will still deny that's the truth. Flood? Flood? Where's the signs of a flood? Look at the fossils. Think about this, guys. Some of you are hunters, some of you are fishermen. What would happen if you went out and shot a deer and left him in the woods and came back 4 or 5 years later? What would happen to that deer? He'd rot away. Wouldn't he? Yeah. I'm not a hunter, so I don't know. I'm taking your word for that. I only shot one thing in my life. I shot a bird one time, felt so bad about it, put a gun, never pulled trigger, dead. Right? I'm not. But listen, you know how fossils are made? You take a bone and you put it in mud, and then you take more mud and put it on top of it. Then you take a whole bunch of water and you put it down on top of it, and that hydraulic event seals that bone and keeps it from dust wasting away into dust. If there was no flood, where'd the fossils come from? Yet seemingly intelligent person after intelligent person will say, God has never intervened in human history. What about the day that Joshua was fighting the Amorites and God stopped the sun in the middle of the sky and kept it there for a full day? Go back and look at the record. Go back and look at the record of time during that period. You know what you'll find? You'll find that the calendars have lost a day. But God's never intervened. Where's the sign of his coming? Listen, we know different. God has interceded in the affairs of man many times throughout the course of our history, and he will do it again. The Bible says that he will come back.
That's right. That's right.
So, preacher, at the beginning of this, you said you were going to comfort us. I'm comforting you with that fact that Jesus is coming back. This nonsense and chaos that we see around us will not be allowed to stand forever.
Amen. Amen.
Jesus will come back.
That's right.
And then things are really going to change. It's really going to be different, guys, when Jesus comes back. You know, the Bible tells us what the world's going to look like when he comes back. You know, a few minutes ago, a lot of times you just accept what I say on face value. I've noticed that, and that's good. Sometimes you just need to. But a minute ago, I made the statement that as I look in the Bible for the last 33 years, and I look at world events, that I see the Bible playing out for us, and y'all just went, yay! Right? But I tell you, you go in the Bible for yourself. And you can see these things. Because the Bible tells us what the world is going to be like when it all starts. Right? There is a series of events that are going to happen at the end time. And the Bible tells us that when they start, the world is going to look a specific way. We can look around us and see the picture of what the Bible has described for us. Amen?
Right.
And we read that. We read that just a few minutes ago. Go back to the passage we read. I'm going to point you to a specific verse. Verse 37. And I've brought this up a few times just in passing in other sermons. But I'm hoping to elaborate a little bit more on it today. Matthew chapter 24, verse 37 says this, but as the days of Noah were, right? We all remember the story of Noah and the ark, right? As the days of Noah were, so shall also the Son of Man be. The coming of the Son of Man be. So what the Bible's saying is, when Jesus gets ready to come back, things are going to be about like they were when